We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. So, Savage,
Yes. Hello.
what do you want to talk about?
What to talk about? Oh, it's a there's a lot going on over the weekend. A lot of
Yeah.
worldly events, things going on. Pope Francis, he has passed on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The holiday, Easter. I know. I had a decent one. How about you?
I had a good one. You know, I had a good one.
Yeah,
Saw the snaps.
but pretend I'm not. I didn't know. What did we do?
So my roommate told me Saturday. He said we're going to Sanchez's on Sunday for Easter. I was like, why am I going? First of all, if you don't know, I don't like to leave my house. I don't like to leave unless it's something I want to do. So because you just fucked me up with that. Y'all can't hear her, but boss lady's in our ear, so she likes to make side comments and kind of throws me off. So I was like, no, I don't want to do that. But I was like, you know what? Fine, fuck it. Went and did it, hung out with them. It was a great time. I had confetti, eggs all over me. I'll be posting pictures of that.
So the was eggs, okay. I was wondering.
Yeah.
So the confetti seemed like a little sticky.
Yeah, the confetti was everywhere. And it was one of those things I was like, this is a fun time. Get to relax, kick back. Had a couple drinks, indulged myself a little bit. It wasn't one of those things where I was like, got to twist my arm. It was one of those things like, you're here, you're drinking. I was like, okay.
It's like the adult version of like on Easter, what adults do. Instead of, get an Easter basket and go egg hunting, you get to sit back, have a few drinks with your friends.
Yeah. Had a great time. Came back, chilled, relaxed. Was not cooking that night. I refused. I had a good buzz going on. I was like, I'm not doing shit. I'm going to jump in Discord, hang out with people, play a couple games, and that's my night. Which is a rare occasion because usually I'm working on something all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's good to lay back, It's good to work and be productive, but it's also really good for you to sit back and enjoy yourself as well.
Yeah.
Has some you time,
Yeah. All right. See who's in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Easter for me wasn't too bad. My sister came over earlier in the day, hung out with her and her fiance and their son. They stayed around for about a couple hours. We talked, had a good talk about a bunch of different things, and then after they left, we had a nice little roast with my mom and her significant other, and it was a good time overall.
It's good. All right. So since we're here, we're live. We're on Twitch and YouTube. If y'all have questions for us, just type it in there. Type them in there. It doesn't matter how outrageous they are, how little, how big, how small, how do I say this? How ridiculous can we get?
Ridiculous.
But yeah. This podcast today is about getting to know us, the hosts. So it's one of those things that we just hang out, vibe, and chill.
Yeah, that's good. Get to know us, ask you questions, anything. I'm open to any question, really.
I am too. What's up, Maddie? How you doing, bro? And we can start off because our lovely producer set us up with questions off the back. We're gonna go first name, favorite color, favorite food, and drink. So me, Terry, it's in there. I'm 35, and my favorite color is a mix. So it's silver, black, and blue. Those are my favorite colors. I like darker shades, and it's one of those things that never changed. My favorite food is honestly, it had to be any type. It had to be a steak, a nice steak. If it's not steak, it's sushi. Those are the two that always get me. My favorite drink, we're talking soda, stuff like that. We're talking like Dr Pepper usually, even
Mm,
though everybody sees me with the Mountain Dew. But I actually Dr Pepper. 'Cause I bought a case about a week ago, 24 pack, and that first night I went through almost 90% of it. So yeah, I have a problem with Dr Pepper.
yeah, I'm not a fan of Dr. Pepper myself, personally.
Yeah, it
Can't. I don't
happens.
like the aftertaste of it when I drink it. But
Okay.
here's another question for you: DC or Marvel?
I'm a diehard Marvel fan. There are
Okay.
certain things about DC I do love, but it's one of those things that I've always been a Marvel fan. Always liked Spider Man, Captain America, and Iron Man, and then Doctor Strange was one of my favorites as well. The X-Men. I collected some comics growing up. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it was one of those things because I grew up kind of poor, so it's what we could afford. And yeah, so yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, if you had to choose a number one, what would be your favorite character?
number one,
Hmm.
it would probably it's probably because of the kiddo why this is the answer now, because he made me deep dive into Miles Morales a lot, but it'd probably have to be
Okay.
Miles Morales.
He's a good character. I like him.
He is.
He's Spider-Man, but he's his own character. He's not just another version of Peter Parker. He's
Yep.
like he's his own person. He's got his own background. Even though they share similar places, one's from Queens, one I don't know where Miles grew up in. If he was in
He grew up, I think, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, okay. So, but they're that's pretty close to each other, regardless. Still in the
Yeah.
same, obviously, the same city or
Yeah.
district. But anyways, they're both really unique characters, and I like his character too. It's cool.
Yeah. Yep. You.
Yeah.
First
So
name, age, favorite color, favorite food, drink.
no. First name is Reese. I typically go by Savage though. I don't know. I just never really found my first name more appealing. I guess I don't know. I just never liked my first name usually. But age 32. Favorite food is definitely steak. I love a medium rare steak. Give me that every day of the week, and I'll be happy.
It's gotta be medium rare. Anybody that does well done, I can't. I just can't take them
Yeah,
serious. I can't take
I
them seriously
I,
at
I love
all.
I love my mom, but she loves her stuff well done. Like bacon, steak. I can't. Nope. It just tastes too dry for me. It has to have some juice to it. Um.
I had to
Um.
distract the doggo.
Okay. What was the other question after the food? I forgot.
Favorite drink.
Drink root beer. I'm a big root beer fan. I have got
You a
a
big root beer fan?
Barks root beer.
Yeah, I
IBC root
said
beer is probably my favorite root beer, but you can't get like a 12 pack. It's usually so I go with Barks instead.
okay. Okay. So,
Uh, yeah,
DC or Marvel for you?
I'm a huge Marvel fan myself. I love both. Each one has their own unique characters in story, but when it comes to like character builds and their story development, I definitely like Marvel better. It's a little I don't know, it's just something about Spider-Man I grew up on, and for the longest time, Spider-Man was my favorite. And then he kind of went to the second place, and now the Punisher is my favorite character. Mostly because he's more of I see his ideals as more of a realistic point of view. Not only because he's only himself in a world full of superheroes, he's just a badass Marine. So that's pretty cool that he's just, special forces, all that, but he's just a human without abilities. He doesn't have, superhuman strength and fly or whatever.
Feeling or anything like that?
Yeah, he has a high tolerance for pain because he's trained his body to deal with it, but other than that, he's just a normal human being. And I personally like his ideals a little bit better than the common, superhero. It's more realistic.
So, who is one of your biggest inspirations in content creation in life? All right, for life, for me, it would be a mix between my mother and this is a tie. My mother and probably my best friend who's passed, Wade. And the reasons why is because my mom, she did it all herself. She's single mom of 4 kids, military vet, working at a paper mill, she got promoted. Then she was on nights most of the time, and it's just one of those things that I didn't get to see a lot of her growing up because she was on night shifts all the time. And so at that age, because it's about 8 to 16, I was like, mom doesn't make time for me, everything like that, because I was a selfish little brat. Let's be honest, selfish little brat at the time because I was in sports, I was doing events, everything like that, and it's one of those things I wanted to always. I wanted my mom to be there or somebody from my family to be there. And my younger brother was there all the time too because he's 2 years younger than me, so he's always there, and he'd tell mom like how everything went, everything like that, the good, bad, how it worked, how it looked, and then I kind of came to terms with it when I turned 17. I was on varsity then, and I was like, my mom's busting her ass to support not just me but herself and my younger brothers and sister, and she's doing all this without the help of mostly anybody. Yeah, she had sitters that were family. But you look at today's society, how that looks. That's the minimum amount of help people usually get, and they bitch about it, saying they don't have enough help or anything like that. So I'm just like, my mom didn't bitch about it. She just said, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do it. And there's nobody going to stop me. And she went from that to, we lived in a rundown house for a while. And I think it's been a good couple of years, and she bought her house in town, and it was nice. She's like, I got up able to do all the stuff I could do, and it made me happy that she did all that. She showed me that hard work pays off no matter what, no matter how long it takes. My best friend Wade, because honestly, like I said in a previous podcast, this motherfucker was suave all the fucking time. He inspirational, motivated everybody, can always had something to say to every single person he came across, no matter what no matter what they're dealing with in their life, no matter how hard things are getting, no matter how bad his own life was. And he just raised people up, no matter who they were. And that's one thing I was like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could be that guy. And he did a lot of things for me. When I was growing up, I was dealing with a lot of mental problems, everything like that, and I talked to him about it, and he had something for me all the time, whether it was church-based, because at the time I was going to church all the time, and he's like, look, man, read this. He said, this is one scripture that you need to do, and we'll read it, we'll think about it, we'll figure out what we need to do, and next we'll channel it into something productive no matter what. That's what got me into weightlifting, riding, and, trucks in general, because he loved his vehicles. So, yeah. And, yeah, that's all I got right now.
Okay.
What about you, Savage?
Inspirations growing up.
Wait. I forgot one. I forgot one part.
What'd you get? What'd you got?
Inspiration of content creation. I got you, Maddie. I didn't forget. I remembered it. My inspiration for content creation. Who did that? One of them has to be Expel. He's just real and funny, and he's just himself. Yeah, he keeps himself from being too over egregious, but he's funny. He's funny without anything too bad going on, and he's people call him out all the time for like his content. But he started out as a streamer. He went from streaming to, I just want to do content creation. I don't want to stream anymore. I'll stream once every 6 months or so. And then he did that. Now he's done it. He's got a successful platform under him. He's big on Twitch. He's big on YouTube. If you don't know who he is, he's a Warzone content creator.
Okay.
He got really big in Blackout. And then then it came to Warzone. He got big in that. He made partner in Twitch. And then he wanted to go to YouTube. And then YouTube and Twitch is like, you can't do that. You're a partner here. And then the moment he's like, cool, I'm gonna get rid of my partner, they released. That's when Twitch released like, oh, you can do both.
Oh yeah, they saw their loss and they're like, "That's a huge loss on us. We should allow him to do both."
Yeah, he posted about it. He said, "This is ridiculous, man. I've been fighting this for 6 months." But yeah, it'll be Expel. Then another one is Mark G. I like how really honest he really is, and he does it in a entertaining way, and he's educational at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. That's another person that does it. Who else? Who else? I think that's it for me for content creation, honestly.
Okay. Nice. It's good. Inspiration wise for in life personally, I would definitely say both my parents. They're both good people. They were both at the young age they were both, separated. But they both guided me in a good direction. They both had good hearts and the basic human connections to make and to be nice to others, to give people benefit of the doubt, but not to be what would be the word for it? To be not to be too nice, you don't want people to take advantage of you, but you want to give people the benefit of the doubt and to be just genuine, just be yourself, but try to be nice and polite to people on the way. And I inspire to, be like them growing up as I get older. I don't want to be a hateful person, a negative person, like to be positive. And that's kind of one of the many things I kind of clicked with like One Love. He's a very positive dude. And I kind of connected to him real quick just because of the way he has his outlook in life. Yeah, my dad taught me how to defend myself and what's right, what's wrong, what a man does, what a man doesn't do. Opening a door for your woman or other stuff like that. My mom's also kind of shows me like the more emotional side of things. The always not always seen as feminine side, but just more to be in a more softer touch in nature. I grew up in a household full of just women in general, so my mom and my sister, and then I saw my dad's on the weekends. So, but mostly I'm around women, so I kind of adapted their mindset, their kind of way of life a little bit more than I did with them, like a man's side of life. So it's a nice mix to have though. So I kind of get the best of both worlds. In terms of like content creation people, I would say probably Joe Rogan. I'm a big fan of his podcast, so I listen to him all the time. When I'm driving 6 hours to go see my fiance, I go see her, and then on that ride it takes like 6 hours to get there. So I put on a couple of those podcasts. I get like through 2 or 3 of them, and it's nice listening to him because he has a wide variety of topics he likes to touch on. From it's like some are very funny, some are very political, some are very topical in other situations like religious or just like other random things, but you can see through his many interactions with people he's grown over time for being a very not narrow-minded but very not even ignorant, just more unaware. And as he grows he learns more through more philosophies, more lifestyles people have and their perspective on things. So you kind of gain those perspectives through those many interactions, which is pretty cool. You get to see the different walks of life people have, and as he's grown, he's kind of grown wiser. And through all that, I like to be a person of wisdom over intelligence. Intelligence is important, yes, but I think wisdom is more of an important thing to have throughout life as you get older. So through his podcast, I kind of see that. He's not a very ego person. He likes to actually drive himself down from his his throne, people would say, or whatever, because he's so popular. That might get to your head, but he doesn't allow that to get to him. He keeps himself. He still sees himself as just like any other person. Yeah, he's widely known. He knows this, but he likes to keep a level head. He doesn't let it get to his head. And I can appreciate that. With a lot of power, fame, or money, people allow that kind of stuff to get to your head, and that's not something I would allow. I would never allow that to happen to me personally. I think it's not something I want to get ahead of myself. I like to keep a level head at all times. So I look into that a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of like streamers, there's not many like I really look up to that inspire me on like the Twitch side of things. On Twitch, I kind of watch streams just for fun. I have a good time. I mean, a good example though, if you do want to get someone to inspire you, Matty Pace is a good example of that. He's a very
Yeah, he
positive
is.
dude. Every time you see his stream, he's always breaking out the vibes, showing a good time. He's giving advice out. He's giving out good lessons, wisdom, good advice in life in general. Like, One Love too. He doesn't do that kind of thing, but he's a very positive going guy in general. He's never giving negative attitude to anyone. He's always showing love and giving compassion to others. He's always just there for the positivity.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see that.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm looking at the messages from this morning, Maddie. I was just talking to him because I was still awake. And just brings out the positive energy no matter what he says. So I'm just like, man, how you do that?
Yeah, it's nice. It's cool. I try to kind of be like that. Show love, show positivity. I'm always grateful for people when they come into the podcast here with us, or just in my stream or your stream. It's always nice to see people come in, hang out, have a good time. That's all I'm there for, really. Like to have a good time, get to know people, and have fun.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. What was Maddie's next question? You could leave the world with one piece of advice before you go. What would it be? Okay, I'm gonna put it in my own words. I always tell this to anybody: fuck them or fuck it, because nobody's gonna stop you. If Who's really gonna stop you? If you want to do something, go do it. If you don't, if it's legal, let's just say, I'm gonna say it that way. If it's legal,
yeah, I get it.
fuck them. Just go do it. If it's something you want to do, you want to try something new, do a new path, move somewhere. You want to go. You want to go try a new hobby for once. Fuck it, do it.
Something that's
I'm always about that. Try new fucking things. It sucks because right now I'm a hermit. I know I almost said hobbit. I saw the face. But before I started, mistrusting a lot of people, everything like that, keep my circle tight. I was out all the time doing stuff. I was the range, going riding horses, camping, hiking, every fucking thing. Dog, are you serious? But yeah, it's one of those things. I had to take my dog's toy away.
the squeaky toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you,
Alright.
Savage?
There's so many pieces of wisdom I'd like to give out, but if I had to choose one, treat people the way you want to be treated. That's the best advice I can give to people. In today's age, sadly, there's a lot of hatred, but there's also a lot of love out there. And at the end of the day, everyone just wants love. You want companionship. You want unity, and you can only get that if you give that. If you have a negative mindset, then you're only going to get negative interactions. But if you have a positive mindset, you're going to get more positive outlooks in life. So that would be my that might be a piece of advice for someone.
Like it. It's true. So I like to go off of treat people how you like to be treated, and do unto others what do unto you. Old
Yeah.
saying.
It's true though.
The message is still the same no matter
Yeah.
what. Do
There's a lot.
it right. And thanks, Maddie. Let's see here. What are your hobbies?
Hobbies in general, huh? Well, I mean, I'll say like no one really knows besides like you. Obviously, you know a lot of them, but I like to. I'm a big person that likes to play video games. I'm a big big person on video games. That's a lot of my time spent on that. A lot of people might see that as like a waste of time, but for me, it's not. It's a good way to stress relief at the end of the day after a long day of work, or just to get my mind off of things. It's a good, as people say, it's a good escape from reality. So I like doing that. In terms of other hobbies, I actually like going on hikes. Not just like simple hikes too, places that are places to explore. It could be abandoned buildings. It could be a unique hiking trail. Going places to like an old asylum or something. I like exploring a lot. So those kind of things intrigue me. And going off of that, I like using my drone for that kind of stuff. Recently, I went to an asylum that's no longer in use for an asylum, but it's still there as an actual like trail. It's a huge community and just a bunch of buildings, and you can actually take your dog there. It's a whole like state park essentially now, and you can look at the buildings and see the history there. So it's pretty cool. I'm a big person on history. I like to see the past. Um, other hobbies. I used to draw a lot. I was pretty good at it, but I haven't done that in a while. Movies. I love seeing movies. I just went to go see Sinners. That was really good. I like a good story. I'm a big
Yeah.
person for storytelling. So you got a story to tell. I'm a big person on that. I like listening to stories. It's why I like podcasts, stuff like that. Um, I'm a big fan of sports. I can play, not like watching it, but playing it. I'll play them. Baseball, soccer, football, sure. I can get down for it. I like to be active. My job is physically active, so I like to be an active person. What about you?
Okay, so my main hobby is obviously guns. I love them. I collect them. Um, Had to get rid of a number of them, but I'll start the collection back up again. And then it has to be some reading, some light reading.
Yeah,
Um, you know, uh, the Halo series. I'm big into that. Read most of them, so I kind of
I actually have those too. I have a bunch
yeah,
of the Halo books. I love the lore.
yeah. I love it so much. Then obviously anything to do with my dog, anything.
Dogs are nice. I love dogs. Good
Um,
companions.
Honestly, this podcast has been turned into my life now. I don't think it's considered a hobby anymore. It's kind of turned into my life.
That's good.
Yeah, it's not a hobby.
It's good though because you're committing yourself to something. You're giving yourself a goal, an objective, and it's nice.
Yeah. Cooking, definitely love cooking. It's one of those things I learned from my grandmother, and you know, it's one of those things I love to do. I love new recipes. I love trying new things and just throwing things together. And like, I know that I work together, but I've never seen it done yet, so I'm gonna do it. And yeah, it's worked out so good. I like video games. I haven't been gaming very much at all recently, but I'll get back to it. I know I will.
It's good to take a break, play some games, then go back to doing whatever you're doing before. It's always nice.
Yeah,
You kind of appreciate motor too when you take like when you do it in intervals. After a long time of just gaming, it kind of gets a little dull after a while. Especially if you play the same games over and over. Fortnite, COD. It gets repetitive. So it's good to take a break, go do something else, enjoy that, and then come back to and enjoy those other games.
yeah, yeah. I'm an avid COD player. Um, Something I could play every single day. Don't get burned out on it. I don't.
I used to be that way in COD.
And Warzone, they brought back Verdansk, and I've been loving it. I just haven't touched it in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't played the Verdansk since it came back. I planned on it, but I haven't really played with people to play it. So, um, I grew up on COD though. That was a big game I played a lot. I started on COD 4, Modern Warfare 1, the original, back in like 2009, I think it was, or something. It was on the PS3. It was way back. And when I first played it, I was really good at it, so I kept playing it.
Do collect anything? See,
Collect anything? I do.
yeah, you do. That's right, you do.
Go for it. You can start it though.
Honestly, not anymore. I used to collect. I used to collect. I guess guns count as collecting things, so that's one thing.
It's a good hobby
Um,
to have.
Collecting some guns, and I would collect posters in movies. So it's one of those things. I would get the posters from the movie theater, and when they're like, "Oh, we don't need this anymore. How much you want to sell it for? You want to give it away?" Things like that. I found a store back in Jacksonville, North Carolina. It was yeah, I forgot the name of it, but they had all the old movie posters from the releases and stuff. And I was like, cool, I like that movie. I want that one. I want that one. And I started collecting those. Then I started collecting movies and stuff. And I'm just like, what am I going to do with all these? Because what happens if everything goes digital? And everyone's like, it's not going to go digital for a while. A year later, every single movie I collected is digital. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
fantastic.
that was a problem with that for a few movies though, because
It
of like
was.
like copyrights or like claims on certain titles. I didn't even know this until recently. If you didn't have like an actual disc copy of 28 Days Later, you couldn't actually get it on like digital. It was like Disney owns the rights to the movie, but they didn't put it up on their website or anything, so you couldn't get it on digital until recently because of the new movie coming out for 28 Days Later or years later.
I was one of the people that had it digitally before that all thing happened, and I
Oh,
still have
nice,
it
nice. Okay,
because
I
it
had
came
to.
as a bundle. It came as a bundle for 28 days later, 28 weeks later.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, I bought it, and I was like, cool. I haven't watched it ever since. And everybody's like, I can't find it anywhere. I was like, do you want my login to watch it? Because it's right here.
Yeah, I have. Well, my dad has both the hard copies of it. It was I grew up on those movies. It was the first zombie movie to create running zombies. That's where it came from. 28 Days Later. That's where the idea for running, zombies. It was such a right after it hit theaters, it was such a thrill for people. They're like, "Oh my god, imagine that! The running zombies were screwed."
Yeah, yeah. That is where they got it from. You see movies like World War Z. uh, What's another one? There's fast-paced zombies.
Hey, you got like other movies. Dawn of the Dead is a really good example of that. That was a really good zombie movie, very graphic, very gory.
You know,
In terms collecting items, though, anything else for you?
really can't think of anything that I
Hmm.
collect that I would collect
I mean,
because it's
just you,
just
you had a couple drones. I know that. I don't know if you really collected
I don't
drones,
really
but
count that anymore because I left them back in North Carolina.
yeah. Okay.
Packed up everything, packed up the drones, and left the drones.
Yeah.
So I don't think
Yeah.
I collect them anymore. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm gonna start that collection up anymore either.
It can get expensive, like guns, they can get expensive. Um, but yeah, in terms of collections for me, I'm a big nerd, so I collect a lot of nerdy things. Lightsabers. I can see you laughing. Lightsabers, statues of Marvel characters, stuff like that. I mean, I have 7 lightsabers. I haven't really bought one recently because it gets quite expensive depending on the ones you want and how highly detailed they are and what they can get lights and sound effects and all this stuff, high quality metal pieces. It's nice. I like them. But in terms of other collections, I'm a big statue collector. Also Native American memorabilia because I'm Native American. Like right here, I have that, and then that one right there. That's an Apache. That's the tribe I'm related to. Next to the skull. But yeah, so I collect like Native American stuff. I have a necklace over there that's bear claws and a bear tooth. That's for a tribe too. But I collect also things like skulls, like statue skulls, not real skulls. Personally, I wouldn't mind that, but it's kind of hard to buy skulls off of somewhere. But I still have statue
I
skulls.
know where you can get some.
Well, do you now?
Yes, sir.
But I collect like engraved like crystals and stuff like that are shaped into skulls, or even a couple candles that are shaped into skulls. I like the allure of that. I also collect like sharp objects, knives and swords. I have those, plenty of those. I like the art put into it. There's a interesting thought to it. Like someone created this with a design in mind, and how much time and sweat they poured into it. So it's cool to see someone's art after it's finished, and then I can have it and display it. Like one day I hope to own like an actual katana. I have 2 fake katanas. They look cool, but they were only like $20 to $30, maybe $40, something like that. Like a real katana, you're not going to get anything less than like $1,000. It's expensive. Like it's thousands of layers on how they're forged. It takes time. It's dedication.
Just help me figure out a good wedding present for you. So I'm gonna get a his and hers wedding present. So one for you and then one for her.
Don't do that, please. As much as I love katanas, that's expensive. Please don't spend that money on me like that. Man, yeah, it's nice. I love them. That's something I'll have to say about to add to my collection of things. Other collection things I like is, just posters like you. I have a couple of those. Some I've drawn myself. I put it turned into a poster, but a lot of them are just like other skulls. Batman, Darth Vader. I have a Viking poem, I think would be as it, or a saying, prayer. That's what it is. It's a wolf spirit prayer. That I love. But there's a few other things too I collect. I have a wide collection of things. Not too bad though.
What about your knives and stuff?
What's that?
What about your knives and stuff?
Yeah, like that. Knives. I mean, yeah, I said knives, but
okay.
I mean, I have this.
Specifications.
I have this thing. It's a replica of Kratos' axe from God of War. I'm a big fan of God of War game. So I had the replica of this, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are. They're packed up right now. But this is huge. It's real weight to it. The only thing that's not real is this is not wood, but this it's real.
It's authentic. All right.
Another question from Maddie Pace. If you could visit any place in the world, where would it be and why? Okay. There's a lot of places I want to go to here in America or any other place, but if I have to choose one, only because, not recently, just because my fiance also said Scotland, but she kind of brought the idea to it, and then the allure of its history and how they still preserved a lot of their historic buildings. Like I said before, I'm a big person on history, and I love exploring places that are castles, mansions, and a lot of their stuff from that time, medieval times, is still there to this day, well preserved, and it'd be cool to visit that stuff. So probably, if I had to choose a place in the world, it'd probably be Scotland. Yeah.
For me, I've been to a lot of places already. So, place I'd go and why? Probably back to Japan.
Japan's nice. Yeah. That'd be one of the places. Yeah. For
There's so much culture, history.
Mm-hmm.
I love their traditions and how close they are family-wise. The food is just great. Food is really great. And the fact that, it's, how to say this? Over there, that not everybody's out to get you most of the time or anything like that. So it's really calming. Except I start going down to the clubs, and there's you see a guy outside there, and they're Nigerians. I think they were Nigerians, and they'll be outside the clubs like, "Oh, you come in," and if a girl walks by, they'll be like, "You come in free." And the girl's like, I don't want to. They're like, "No, you're coming in," and they drag her in, and
that's how they make the money.
It's how they get the guys to come in there.
That's how they make profit. Get a pretty girl, and then drinks, and then it mixes together. That's business.
Yeah. One of my buddies, he got stabbed. He got stabbed because he was with his friend that was visiting, and she's a pretty young lady, and they're like, "Oh, you come in too," and she's like, "No, thank you. I'm trying to walk." Try to grab her, try to pull her in, just like no, and he's like, "Oh, get off her," And the next thing you know, he's in this fight with them, and he gets stabbed. So I was like, maybe you shouldn't go down there at night. But there's places like that here in the U.S. too. So, like I said, I've never had many bad issues in Japan.
Yeah, it
I
seems
have
like a nice place.
a lot of fond memories, a lot of drunken, I can't remember nights. Don't remember how we got back on base, and it's just one of those things you're like, what in the world? So yeah, yeah, Japan would be mine.
That's nice. Yeah, Japan's a good place. That's one of the historical places I'd like to visit too. Other crazy places in the world to see. There's so much rich history in so many places, and even today's culture. Is still thriving. A lot of Japan's like original, like traditional family things are still there.
Yep.
It's good.
What is your most prized possession? Mine would. Ooh, this is hard for me.
My precious.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything that's a prized possession anymore. So if you could, if animals count, then it would be my dog. Honestly, come here, come here. Yeah, it would be my dog.
Dog. Okay. Okay. It is a good. I guess it's a good. It's not like when you say possession too. It's not like we're saying that's like an object. It's a living thing. We all know that it's something you cherish, something you love.
Yeah,
That's what we all understand in the situation. So, in terms of prized possessions, I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, there's not one specific thing really, because I just cherish everything I have in life. Because I'm grateful for the things I have. It's nice to have like a house. Feet feet on the ground kind of thing. Food on the table, clothes on my back. But if I had to choose one thing, I mean, going off the same concept of the dogs, I would say Satan is my favorite possession.
we can. I don't think we can possess people anymore. I think that ended a while ago, bro.
Now, babe, you don't have to make me a sandwich. It's okay. I'm just kidding. No,
They're
but
people now.
it's like the same concept, though. We all know that you cherish the dog, cherish what I have with my girlfriend, or my fiance. I am very happy to have her in my life. It kind of gives me a drive. It kind of gives me purpose in meeting to have like a good future. So
yeah, I get that. I get that. Put that on the screen. Put that on the screen. There you go. Dude,
I am. I do eat a lot of food. I'm not gonna lie.
just so some of y'all don't know, Boss Lady is the producer, so she's behind the scenes. She can be her. We can hear her. Y'all can't. So she's making her comments, and we are obviously reacting to it. Yeah. What was this? All right, Savage. What is your greatest accomplishment of your life?
Greatest accomplishment in my life. All right. Greatest accomplishment, really. It's kind of hard to really think of something, but again, I would say my at least when it comes to the thought is asking someone to marry me. That to me is a big accomplishment. I never thought I'd get to that point, so I'm happy to have gone to that point, and to me that's a huge accomplishment because not everyone gets to achieve that and to get into that kind of life.
Okay. For myself, Jesus Christ, I've done so much shit, dude.
Yeah,
I've done
you
so
have.
much stuff.
You've done a lot
Biggest
more than I have in
accomplishment.
life.
Biggest accomplishment might sound a little sappy, but honestly, just being alive is my biggest accomplishment because I've been down some deep dark holes and some situations where I shouldn't be here today.
Yeah,
But being alive and actually enjoying life is my biggest accomplishment.
it's a good accomplishment. A lot of people don't, like I said before, they don't. Some people don't get to do that accomplishment, so it's good to go through that.
Yeah. What is on your bucket list?
Bucket list. You want to start off?
Uh, my bucket list. These are things I don't think about ever. Um, Paulo, what's on my bucket list, dude?
Food, as
Yeah, that's
Goober
his.
has said.
Yeah. Let's see here. My bucket list would probably have to be. I want to try Everest. I
Mount
want to.
Everest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some point in my life, I want to try it. I don't care if I'm old and going to die on it. Like, if I die up there, it's fine.
You're
It's
like
just one of those
halfway.
things. Yeah. Look, I'm already out in nature. Don't got to worry about me. Don't got to find a box or nothing. Just leave me there. Um, yeah. So it either be Everest or yeah. That's all I can think of.
When you, I guess I guess this podcast is like a good bucket list to think about. What is your ideas for it? Like, you want to see it grow to like the heights of like Joe Rogan status? Kind of, is that like a goal you have in mind?
If it can get there within my power without getting rid of our own dynamic, sure.
Mm, okay. Was always intrigued to see what you wanted to do with it. That's
I
interesting.
just I just want to see it grow.
It's good.
Grow. If it keeps growing, I have no problem with it. I'm
Yeah.
just like, let's keep going with it. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
That's good. Yeah. It's definitely going places. It's growing. I know that. So that's good. Nice.
My dog's moving my desk.
um, in terms of me for bucket list, it's like I'm in the same boat as you are. I don't really think about this a whole lot. Um, I kind of just I take it day by day, and I don't have like a set like bucket list of things really. I mean, yeah, I like to go out and see Scotland, as we said before. That'd be cool. So I guess I can add that to the bucket list. You know, I guess if I had to really think about it, it'd be like visiting. I was actually looking at this earlier today from where Satan lives. It was like 2.5 hours away. Is George Washington's estate where he's buried. I like to visit that. That's like it's Mount Vernon in Virginia. I was like, oh, that's pretty nice. It's history. What's that face? All right. But yeah, so it's we don't have to visit. But anyways, it's on the bucket list of things I want to see in this country. At least there are cool like historical monuments I want to see throughout the country. You know, it's history. Again, I'm a big history person, so like I guess those would be things on the bucket list to do.
See that? I've been to a couple places like that around the U.S. I used to live in Virginia, so I went to Arlington. I've been to Arlington many times because of my friends are buried there. But went to DC, saw the Smithsonian and
Mm,
everything there. I was excited about it, loved it. Uh, so yeah, it's just I like that stuff. So it's just one of those things that makes me giddy, makes me giddy a little bit.
yeah, I like it. Here's a question for you: would you do a ghost hunt, like a paranormal like night thing? I've done it a few
Um,
times. I like it.
so thing about me, I don't really believe in ghosts or anything like that. So would I do it? Sure.
Mm.
Prove me wrong. Let, let's see it.
That's the mindset I have. I like to. It'd be nice to believe in it, but I need the truth, like the proof to believe in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a factual person. I go off of like the facts, what I can see, feel, touch, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I've been to a few, you know, haunted places. I've been to Penhurst Asylum and other places. It was a USSR naval ship that was used in World War II. It was in the it was in the harbor of Boston. But anyways, the places there are nice and cool and all, but it's kind of hard to get a feel for that stuff when you're so polluted with like a tourist. You got like a bunch of 20 to 30 people sitting around making noises. It kind of defeats the purpose. You know, when you go ghost hunting, you're supposed to be quiet, you're supposed to be listening, seeing with your own eyes, you know, doing experiments, all this stuff to get proof. But all that gets contaminated with, you know, influences of other people around you. So it'd be cool to actually try that, to do it by like either with just like a select group of people, like 2, 3, or to by myself. those I like that kind of stuff. It's also the thrill because like, what if you do find something? That'd be pretty cool, right? Not only now you're wondering how would you react to that. You actually do see a ghost coming towards you. What would you do in that situation? Would you panic? Would you freeze? Would you go towards it? That kind of thing is pretty cool. Something I like to think about.
To me, it's like, I think that, like I said, most people like they believe in it. I'm like, I don't knock them for it. I don't make fun of them for it. I just think to myself, like, no, I just don't believe in it. I've never seen one. I've been to a lot of fucking places that probably should have them, and I'm like, I don't see nothing. Nothing like that happen.
I've had, I'm not gonna say paranormal. I'm gonna say unexplained. So, because it wasn't like I saw a ghost. I wasn't like, oh, I saw the white sheet over, kind of thing, or it's transparent person. It was an unexplained event that gave me the chills because it was so unexplained. I was like, what is that? And when you're a younger kid, you hear stories, you see movies, it kind of creeps you out. And it was it's a little history, but it's my great grandmother's house right after she passed. The house she lived in was a really old house built in this mid 1700s. After she passed, we were packing up her stuff, putting stuff away in the house, and me and my sister walked into her bedroom and we're just cleaning up the remaining stuff. And at the window, the curtains were floating at like a 45-degree angle. And at first we kind of like stood still and we looked at it, and it was weird to like see it because there was no draft through the floorboards, there's no windows open, no fan, no AC, so no logical explanation at the time of what it was. So it kind of creeped us out. We were seeing curtains float for about 5 seconds and then just drop. So it was a weird experience. Again, there's probably some scientific explanation for it, but it gives you that experience where you're like, that's weird. What happened in that situation? Now, is it paranormal? Who knows? Again, I would need datable proof for it to exist. I like to believe, but I don't believe until I see it.
Okay, I get
I'm
that.
more of a logical person. Like to believe, but not. I'm not like, oh, that must have been a ghost every time I see something. But I also get your point of view too. Like you're like, I haven't seen anything, so I'm not gonna believe in it. Nor are you chasing ghosts all the time. You're not like, I'm gonna go prove it wrong or right. You just don't really put effort into it. You're just like, this is my thought. Moving on.
Yeah, that's basically how it is. What is your favorite holiday? So for me, probably 4th of July. That's just me.
America.
It's always a good time. America Day. So it's a great time. Hang out with friends, drink a little bit, grill out, go to the beach, go to the lake. Just all having fun and just not even having a care in the world. It's a great time.
Okay. In terms of holidays, I would have to agree with that. There's only like 2 holidays I'm really like thrilled to be around. Yeah, Christmas is nice. You get to see your family, you get to hang out, and that's nice and all. But for like an actual holiday I enjoy the most, yeah, it's definitely probably 4th of July because, like you said, you get to go outside. I'm more of an outside person when it comes to like the sun and stuff. I like the heat on my skin. I like to feel that warmth. And with where it's like Christmas, it's always colder. It's winter. I don't like to be cold. I like to be warm. But yeah, I like to go outside, enjoy fireworks, have a couple drinks, have a barbecue, that kind of stuff. It's nice. A close second though is Halloween. I'm a big fan of Halloween. I like the dark and gritty stuff, so I'm a big fan of that stuff.
Okay. Halloween for me, I never really got into Halloween. I didn't really get to celebrate it very much younger because mom worked nights, so it was one of the things that didn't really do it a lot.
Okay.
So I never really got into it. Love all movies themed behind Halloween though, but never got into dressing up or anything like that. So, never. I was with somebody before, and they're like, "We're gonna dress up." I was like, "Okay." I did it, and I was like, "I don't see what the hype is about this at all." But I'm one of those people that doesn't. It's not easy. Don't easily put on a facade for other people or get into those roles, which is really funny because in high school I did one act play.
Hmm.
I know.
Okay.
I know. If you could see the look on her face right now, y'all.
Yeah, it's interesting to see different types of people and enjoying or not enjoying or somewhere in between for Halloween. Uh, and it changes too on like the age differences. As like a kid, it's nice, innocent. You get a scare, you get some candy, but as you get like an older teenager or like almost a younger adult, it gets more. Especially today, it gets more almost sexualized in a way. A lot of like themes are very sexualized in a lot of ways. Even
Yeah,
as a later adult, as like a parent, then you become more like the parent just passing out the candy. Still, you might enjoy it to give candy out to kids, but it's not the same as like the previous two iterations.
yeah, I can agree with that. Who knows you best? So, Jesus, who knows me best? So, I'm gonna. It's a list of people. So, um, so from growing up to now, it has to be my buddy Lane, and then goes to boss lady. Then it goes to my roommate Andrew. So
Hmm,
those are the people that know me best.
okay, nice.
Yeah.
For me, in terms of like in day-to-day life, I would say my mom knows me pretty good. She knows me pretty well when something's wrong, when something's right. Um, and then obviously my fiance, she knows me very well. What I like, what I don't like, when something's wrong, when something's making me happy, making me sad, whatever. She can see it pretty much all the time. Even when I put on like the cold, calculated eyes I have sometimes, expressionless face kind of thing, she still sees through it somehow. In terms of like Twitch, there's few that know me pretty well, not a whole lot. Like you, Raider, obviously you know me pretty well. Friends like Chaos Guns, he knows me pretty well. One Love, me and him are practically like brothers now. We're always hanging out each other's streams and talking and having a good time, stuff like that.
See here. What family member are you closest to? Well, that changed for me over the years. It used to be my little sister. Now it's my mom. So yeah, I've gotten close, especially since I moved back.
Closest to, huh? In family, I'd definitely say over the recent year, it had to be my dad. As sad as it is, he lost his closest family member, his mom. He was really close to her. It was his best friend. They were very close. And then when he lost her, me and him kind of connected even more than we already had. Hanging out more often, and the move for him is a little not tough, but he's just realizing that we'll be hanging out less because obviously we'll be 6 hours apart. So obviously he won't be able to make those drives, and I can do the best I can to come up to visit him whenever I can. But it's different. So, but yeah, I'd definitely say my dad is probably the person I'm closest to in family.
Okay. Okay. So, what skill would you most like to learn? For me, it would have to be playing the guitar. I can play a piano. Never learned to play guitar. I started to learn to play guitar. Then I sold the guitar to get a gun.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. More adamant about guns.
A skill to learn, huh? No, it's kind of hard to decide what one particular skill to learn, but um, let's see. If I had to choose a skill to learn, here's a good one: dance.
Oh, really?
I don't know how to dance. I'm a klutz on the dance floor, and I'm not the biggest dancer at all. I mean, the last time I actually danced was at my fiance's, her sister's, wedding, and it was decent. I was slow dancing, so it's not that hard. I know how to do slow dancing, but any other dances, I don't know how to do it all. So that would probably be a skill to learn. Everyone likes a good dancer, and it's nice to be able to enjoy music and dance.
Okay. So a lot of people on Twitch don't know this about me, or YouTube, or on the podcast don't know this about me. I love to dance.
Yeah.
I know how to waltz. I know how to two-step. I know how to do bachata. I know how to salsa. I love to dance.
Yeah.
So yeah. And your fiance bugged me before her sister's wedding to come out there and teach both y'all how to waltz and dance and everything like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, we're not putting that in there, sir. We're not telling that story. We're not telling that story. So leave it alone.
Oh no, now I want to know.
Now you want to know? Oh God, putting it up here, putting it up there. Oh, it's not synced. Oh Lord. So my roommate likes to call me Rainbow Bright because there's a line dance called Shivers, and I get bored really, really easily, and he's about to find the video and post it in Discord. I already know it. Oh, it came through. So yeah, and there's a part where there's like a jump right there, and I got so bored because the dance itself is really boring. And we're like, do it with me, do it with me. He's like, sure. I got bored, so I just went and just jumped and just fingered all the way around, and did not realize that everybody was going to pay attention to me that very second. Yep. And they're like, no, you don't need that video. Yeah, and that's where the Rainbow Bright came from. And there's one of me with the fans. I had the fan still. That's the bad thing about it. I still have the fan from my friend Chelsea. She's like, do it with the fans. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I did it, and they recorded me. So yeah, that is forever on the internet. That's why Rainbow Bright came to be.
It's like the hand thing.
And spirit fingers. You gotta do the spirit fingers too. You gotta do it right.
Because all I could think of was a Fortnite dance with the hand.
Yep. Yep. Let's see here. I hope you're happy with yourself. What is the coolest place you traveled? Let you go first this time.
Okay. Coolest place I've traveled. I've not really been too far outside of New England, but the one place I did go that was actually the opposite side of the country is Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii once. I got lucky with my friend, and me and him and another friend of ours, we've been friends since high school, and we, booked a trip to Hawaii, stayed at a 5-star hotel for the week, and we went to a few places. We hiked up a old World War II base that was actually part of an extinct volcano, and you can actually explore like the outer rim of it. It was like artillery cannons over the walls and all that stuff used during World War II. And we went out and tried out different other places. One was a natural, like, wild preserve place. It was like a beach that you can go to, but before you enter the place, they tell you all the rules and stuff. And it's like a giant coral sanctuary for not only for the coral itself to thrive, but also like the fishes and dolphins that live there. So that's pretty cool to explore that. So I would say, yeah, that's probably the coolest thing I've gone to.
So for myself, it would be, I'm not gonna say Japan because I already explained that.
Yeah.
Probably Greece. Greece is a great time. A lot of history with it. You got to hike up the mountains and see everything, see the temples.
Nice.
See how they are now. Not all of them are taken care of still because time goes on and messes up a lot of stuff. But yeah, it might be Greece.
Okay. Just a side note, since you did say Japan, I know like you said, we talked a lot about it, but did you visit was it the Black Sands beach?
No,
I think
I did not.
You did not? Okay. And a couple of my coworkers, my boss's son, he went to Japan. He was put there on base, and then he visited that beach and brought back the black sands in a little capsule. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See that? It's different.
Not gonna do that. What does your average weekend look like?
Average weekend.
For me, it's pretty fucking boring, to say the least. I'm in my room with my dog. Welcome. Come back in, shower, everything I need to do. Then I come to the computer and I'm working. I'm listening to music, working in Discord, talking to people, hanging out with them. I don't even game most of the time on weekends. And work on the podcast, work on stuff, different stuff, throw out new ideas, everything like that. Trying to figure out something different to do that's going to work well with us. So that's most of my weekends. And then eat dinner, come back to this, and usually go to sleep and wake up and just repeat the cycle.
Okay.
Sometimes have a drink. Yeah, every once in a while.
You do like to have some drinks here and there.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. In terms of weekends for me, it's one or two things. It's either I'm pretty much not doing much like you are on the weekends, where I'm just, I'm sitting back playing video games. I just like playing video games. Sit back, either playing with friends or just playing my solo games on my own. I'll be in Discord, hang out with people, talking, hang out with a certain group of people, then go to the next kind of Discord. There's only like 2 or 3 I really like hang out now, and like this one that we're part of, join the raid Discord, or another good friend, Solo Sky, his Discord. I hang out with that group of people because they're a funny group to hang out with, and we all get well with each other. We all connect in a good, funny way, so it's always good to just have a good laugh, hang out, joke around. But then the other side is if I'm with my fiance, she as much as she says she doesn't like to go out, or she definitely goes out a lot, especially with her family, which is a good thing. It's good to go out, hang out with your family, and I like going out with them. It's a good time to, go out, do things I haven't really done before. Wagging his tail.
He's just scratching. He's scratching himself, but he has to lean right on the desk.
But yeah, we like, with her, it's nice to be able to go out, do things, and hang out with the family and stuff.
Okay. Bless you.
Thank you. So it's either A, I'm sitting back and just playing games, or it's B, actually going out with her and her family and doing things. One of the two.
Okay. What is your longest running friendship? So, for me now, that would be Lane. So from junior high till now. Let's see, that's 20. No, is it 20 years? No, it's not. It's like, no, it is. About 20 years. But that's my longest friendship I have.
In context, you're not old, Raider. Just an FYI.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. One of y'all
That's not far behind you.
One of y'all has to be the nice one. That's all I gotta hear. That's all I know.
But yeah, in terms of French, 20 years is a good time. That doesn't happen often, but it's good to have those kind of friendships.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have 2 friends from high school, or actually even from middle school, because when I moved from one state to the other, I started fresh. There was no one really in the previous life, so when I started fresh, I remember the first experience I had with my friend Robbie. I don't remember the first experience I had with my friend Troy, though. Robbie's was funny, or probably why I remember it much more. I remember meeting him in a history class. Everyone was in one area talking, and Robbie was in the opposite end of the room by himself, sitting in the corner by himself. So I chose that kid to walk up to him and start talking to him. At first, he looked at me. He was like, "Who is this kid coming up to me? Don't sit next to me." I sat right next to him, started talking to him. We became good friends after that. My friend Troy is a really good friend of mine too, though. It was the same year we definitely met. I think it was my English or math class. and that's been a good. I'm 32 now, and I graduated 2012, so it's definitely 20 plus years that me and him, both of them, have been good friends.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Uh, what makes you unique? Let's see here.
Unique. Oh,
Unique. What are we talking about here? Are we talking about, I'm talking to you, boss. I'm talking to you, boss, right now. Yeah, I can hear you just fine. So, like, what are we talking about here? Unique. God damn it. Uh, I don't. Yeah, I was going there with that. So for me, I don't know. I don't consider myself unique, to be honest and fair. I don't. I consider myself just another person. But if we go off what other people say, they say it's because I'm nice and kind. I'm stern. At the same time, I'm also an asshole. So yeah,
I would say blunt, but I guess that's a nicer term for asshole, I guess.
you're special. Yeah, you're special. Yeah, I am special. I'd say that too.
Yeah, I would say you're a very kind person. You're very nice. But it's to people that you actually care for and you feel that actually deserve your kindness. Your time and effort, your energy. You're not going to just be nice to anyone. You, you're a very compassionate person, but to those that deserve it. In terms of me being unique, I don't see like you said, I don't really see myself as being unique. Um, but like you said, also by going by what other people think or say. I've had people say that I'm very, very calming, very nice. People that even just like meeting people.
I have a question. Were you playing Fortnite with these people at the time?
No.
Okay. Okay. I had
No.
to make sure.
That's
I
a
had to
good
get
that's a
clarification.
good case in point, but I'm not usually like that.
I had to get some
But
clarification.
yeah, no, any FPS game, all my initial usual energy is thrown out the window because I'm a very very competitive in nature when it comes to video games, especially FPS games. But outside of that, in like the norms of like life and reality, um, I'm a very calming person, very like compassionate person. Uh, Within streams, people have come in and said, "Hey, I like your energy. It's nice to just sit back and relax, hang out." Because I'm not like intimidating, I guess. In a sense, some people like that. In other senses, I'm just I like to help people. I'm a caring person.
I don't understand the intimidating part. Because everybody always comes to me like, we were scared of you at first. I was like, why? They're like, you're kind of big. I was like, I'm not that big. And like, if you see like my uncles, everything like that, I'm the shortest guy. I'm the
What are you,
shortest guy.
6'2"?
Yeah, I'm 6'2",
Okay.
6'2", about 245, and like for me, that's a normal average frame.
Okay.
But to everybody else, they're like, "What the fuck? You're not small, dude. You're not that small at all. You're kind of big."
You're,
I'm like,
you're so you're not intimidating, but you're big. You're a big person. You're definitely strong, but I wouldn't call you like intimidating. Someone that you would look at and be like, "Oh my god, this guy's gonna kill me."
you've
But
never seen me in a bar when I didn't know anybody. That's the reason why you say that. Because of my RBF, or not RBF, CBF, is because it's chronic
yeah.
bitch face. Because it's just on all the time.
Well, yeah, I can kind of get that. I guess that's funny when someone doesn't really know me, then I kind of have that resting bitch face is what people call it. Like I just kind of like look bland and just he looks like he's annoyed or angry all the time. It's like, no, I just don't like to use the muscles on my face apparently.
Yeah,
Not unless I'm laughing, then it's just being overused.
yeah.
Um
That's how I am until recently. But it's one of those
yeah, you're
things.
definitely smiling a lot more. I
Yeah,
like seeing that, so that's
yeah.
good. Um Yeah, that's I guess the in terms of like saying appearance wise, but in uniqueness, people do say I have nice hair.
I have long hair, and I guess that makes me stand out a little bit. People always are like, "Oh, you got amazing hair." They always say that kind of thing.
Lord. Mr. Smiles. Giggle. Lord. Lord, y'all. Yeah, I've been smiling a lot more lately. And, it's because I'm in a good mood.
Should hire you for like the next Smiles movie.
Just look at what is one thing that instantly makes your day better? I'm gonna pass on this one.
You're gonna pass? You're gonna pass?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Yeah. We're gonna leave that alone. Fucking saying that.
All right. The Raider doesn't want to say it. He doesn't have to say it. That's
find something else. I can find something else. Hold on a second. Let me think about it.
Okay.
You go ahead. Okay. I'm going to
Okay.
think about it.
All right. Something that makes me happy instantly is, again, I'm a romantic person at heart. So when I see her smile, it makes my day. Like I love seeing her smile, especially when she's looking at looking at me. Seeing her smile, it makes me smile more. As she turns off her camera, so she's probably blushing now. But yeah, that's me. I'm a hopeless romantic at heart, so that kind of thing makes me happy.
Surprised everybody else, so am I. But, never really worked out for me like that way. So, yeah. No, first off, no, you're not. We're not doing that. We're not having conversations behind the scenes and making it where you can find out something. No. So something makes you feel better instantly. Honestly, it's my dog. So, like, I've been down in the dumps, and he's come up to me and just laid next to me and just made me feel better.
Dogs are very good, compassionate, caring souls, and they always know when something's wrong. And it's good to have that companionship. It's good to have that.
I would show this on the screen if it didn't have his full name there, but yeah. Aside from necessities, what one thing could you not go a day without? So for me, it's my fucking phone because I'm always on it 24/7, and I'm doing something on there. I'm writing notes. I'm researching something. I'm looking at videos for inspiration. I'm listening to music. I'm constantly bouncing between places to one, get to know people, make new connections to people, and try to figure out some other stuff, like plan things out. So I'm always on my phone 24/7.
Yep. Hate to say the same thing, but it's pretty true. I'm constantly on my phone. Even when I shouldn't be. There is something in my brain that just says, pick up your phone, look at TikTok, or kind of like a disease. It's bad for you, but if you're able to control it, then it's not too bad. But a lot of people can't. It's a problem in today's society, and
We're fact checking this.
But for a good reason. There's also like reasons for like you have though. It's a legit good reason to have that kind of, I guess, not really a problem because you're using it for your benefit in the long run. Whereas me, I'm just using it for entertainment. I like to be distracted. So,
Mr. As soon as he turns on a game, his phone does not exist.
Oh, that's true. It's I like to keep my hands occupied, and when I'm playing my game, I don't want to put the controller down because I'm stopping the game, and then I look back, and then I look back again. It's a habit I have.
Thanks, Allie.
I can admit when I know I have a problem, and that's one.
What do you enjoy spending money on? Oh, for me, it's anything. The dog has made several guest appearances tonight on stream. You just missed it. He's laying down now. What do you enjoy spending money on? Honestly, food, more stuff for podcasts. What else? What else do I spend money on? Yeah, well, that's pretty much. I'm not saying that. she's looking at me weird, and I'm not saying that. sometimes I do treat myself, sometimes rarely, and I treat other people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
So,
that.
yeah.
It's a weird thing for me because I'm very nitpicky on what I spend my money on. I like to save a lot of my money instead of spending it, and I could be more self-caring, I guess the word would be, on what I spend my money on. Frivolous would be another word, I guess. But when I do spend money, I definitely like food. You know, I mean, that's a big thing for a lot of people. They like to enjoy food. You know, no one wants to just be buying packs of ramen every night and spending it and like trying to save money and just buying minimum stuff. You can't really enjoy it. It gets old real quick, but sometimes you gotta do that. Games though is another thing. You know, when I see a game I want, I buy it. Try to be strict on what I buy and how often I buy game stuff. You know, like recently Oblivion remake came out, or remaster, and instead of just buying it for $50, I already have the Xbox Game Pass. I went through that and downloaded that. But I'm a big fan of video games and food, spend that kind of money on that stuff, and honestly spending it on other people more so than myself.
Okay.
I like to give people stuff more than on myself.
Ali, what do you mean by that exactly? And Savage? Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I was gonna tell you if you did buy, I was like, it was on Game Pass afterward.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's on the Game Pass.
Yep. So, what is? No, we already went over that. We already went over that. What are you most looking forward to?
Mm.
I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Like you go to a zoo for a day or something. Okay, yeah, I guess what you mean by that. So
Yeah, I
Ali
get that.
said, especially when like what you spend most money on most is like going on little adventures every once in a while, either with your family or with friends or with a girlfriend or boyfriend. So it's one of those things that treat yourself, take yourself out on a little relaxation, and do something to enjoy life and just not
Yeah,
stress out.
I kind of get that too.
So
It's
I get that.
you get to enjoy your money and your time and value with family and friends more. It feels it's not only like it makes you happy, but it feels nice too to be able to enjoy your time with someone, spend that time with someone throughout, like you said, to the zoo or picnic and or like a movie, whatever. You get to spend that precious time with that specific person or a group of people.
Yeah. What are you, just a second. What are you most looking forward to?
Mm.
Okay. There's a couple things I'm looking forward to. Nobody, not them. My thing I'm most looking forward to is a trip I'm supposed to be going on. So I'm looking forward to that. And somebody's coming down to go dancing and hang out. I'm looking forward to that as well. And y'all's wedding. Looking forward to that. Your pause on the cord. I can't move my head.
He's like, what? What do you mean? In terms of me, what I'm looking forward to next in life is just, having my own place, having, my own little slice of life, I guess, with obviously my fiance. It's gonna be nice to have something I can call home.
That's gonna be awesome, dude. Dude, come on, come on. Can you pin that message if it popped up? Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead and repost it. Come on, dude. Um, let's see here. Hi, Sarah. Hey, Jeff. Um, what is a goal you've set for yourself for the next 5 years? So, the goal is honestly get to a part, get to a stage. I want to say a stage where the podcast is running so fluidly that it's like water, and that we can keep growing, and that have that thousand people follow, or 10,000 or 20,000 or whatever, however big it grows, goes that way. For myself, I think it's to be. I haven't thought of this in a while. I'm usually good about this. For myself, probably be 100% more financially stable across the board, including my frivolous spending and things like that, and have it all under control. Get a good portfolio built up the way I want it to be, and then I don't know. I don't really have anything else besides growing the podcast, growing the community, meeting new people. I actually and travel a little bit more to get to meet more people and new people and figure out a way to get them all get it coordinated enough to where we can all do something like this.
That'd be cool. That is a goal in the future. To meet you and some others in IRL, because I haven't really met anyone from streams IRL besides my fiance. It's been a long time overdue. One Love and I have been around each other for so long, and it'd be cool to actually meet him in person. And then people can see me standing next to him and see clearly we're not actually blood brothers, but we're pretty close to being brothers. People always confuse me and him together as like actual relatives, and it'd be cool to be like an actual blood brother, but we see each other's family still, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In terms of like goals, when I start fresh and new life and a new future and a new state and all that, I had just a better paying job than what I have now. So that way I'm more financially stable, which I am kind of today, but it'd be cool just to be able to have more in my pocket so I don't have to worry about anything. I don't care to be like a millionaire or anything, but just a paying job where I can do what I like to do now and not have to worry about bills and such. That's my goal, basically, just to be able to live life without worries financially.
Okay. Let's see here. Sarah and Jeff. That's a good goal. That is the best thing I like about streaming. No IRL people. I get that. For myself, if you know me, my roommate can attest to this too. I am a social butterfly in person whenever there's a couple drinks. And
Social lubricant.
I just want to go meet everybody, talk to every single person, and just go hang out, figure out their life, everything like that. Please stop chewing on that. And, I know everyone. So, my roommate typed in there and said, he knows everyone. I was like, I don't really know everyone. I just get to know everybody. Then it just sticks. And I just don't want, situation to come up whereas like, I want to talk to that person randomly. That's how I got mostly all my friends now, because I was like, I'm going to talk to them. Including you, boss lady. Jesus Christ. I wish y'all could hear her right now.
Me and Sarah have a goal that within the next year we are moving to a rural area, part of Michigan. No people living off the land, but with the internet. It's not a bad goal.
That's not a bad goal.
I'm pretty much the same way. I like to be. I like to be more land than people. I don't like the big cities. I'm not a fan of it. Too much noise, too much clutter. I like more rural areas, like farmlands and
You know what?
decently close to like the city where if I need to get stuff. Walmart, accessories, Lowe's, or day-to-day like necessities in life. But for the most part, I like to keep off of that land city, more forest and trees kind of stuff, which is where I kind of live now, so it's nice.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. I used to live like that before I graduated high school. We lived out far off. We didn't really have neighbors. We had one neighbor, and the next neighbor was a good couple miles away. So it was one of the things in the neighbors that were next to us was family. So I don't think we can count it as neighbors. Kind of stay to ourselves. Uncle would run everything's little farm, run everything. He have us help everything like that. Has big garden, cattle, horses, you know, dogs. So it was kind of easy. Let me see here. What is okay? What do you wish more people understood about you? I don't know. I don't know that one right now. I think of something, but I don't know. Got an answer for that one?
Understood about me. Again, I guess it kind of goes into like the resting bitch face kind of thing. A lot of the times I seem emotionless on the face, but that's just I'm not using my face to express emotions. I usually have 1,000 things going through my head at the same time, so it's kind of hard to like process all that information and emotion and to express it. Because I mean, it'd be so many different directions. It's like, which direction do you start? Up, down, happy, sad, all that stuff. So I kind of just, it's like an off switch for me where it can just look like I'm not even interested or whatever. And
That's you.
thank you. And it's not like I don't care about what if someone's talking to me or they're having a conversation with me. I'm listening to you. I'm still engaging in the conversation. I love having conversations. And it's not like I have no emotion. It's just how I express myself, I guess. Thank you.
I get that. For myself, I think it would be wish everybody understood that I don't have a problem with them when I disagree with them. Like instantaneously. That's what usually comes up. They're like, "Oh, you don't like me anymore," then if I disagree with you, or because I did something that they didn't certainly like instantaneous, like off the back. So their instant reaction is, "Oh, you got a problem with me. I need to retaliate." I'm just like, no, nothing personal. Just I did this for this reason, and is nothing against you. I think logically a lot of times when it comes to that. So I don't want to. I'm not trying to piss everybody off on purpose, but if it happens,
can't make everyone happy.
If it happens, my mindset is fuck it, fuck them, as you know from earlier.
Yeah, I get that too. I mean, it's happened throughout history that people misunderstand disagreement with dislike, but it's a lot more prominent in today's society than anything else. So a lot of times people, they allow their emotions to overwhelm them and misunderstand disagreement to hate or dislike of the person themselves, because no one's going to agree everything with someone else. Everyone is unique in their own way, how you perceive things, what you believe in. Your experiences in life have brought you to what you are today, and what your culmination of what you think is always going to be different from someone else.
Yep. Let's see. What is the greatest challenge or struggle you have ever faced? So for me, that's one, my mental health. It went from being on top of the world to being down in the gutters and being diagnosed schizophrenic to possibly another diagnosis, which I'm hoping I don't get, but a lot of people think it is. And, I'll keep it pushing no matter what. That would be that. Reacclimating to civilian life after being in the military, because you get a mindset and everything like that I can speak this way as long as I say no disrespect and that stuff like that. It'd be good. Learned, if you've seen some of our previous episodes, you'll learn that I went to HR a lot. I went to HR a whole fucking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, he's still enjoying the new Chew toy. It is destroyed now, but because I'm doing this, I can't take it away from him fully. Hardest thing, married for over 20 years and working with that person IRL for over 20 years. Ooh.
That can be tough.
That could be tough because there's no breather, there's no reprieve there for you to actually have that. I don't want to say everybody needs a lot of space, but you need some space to actually get yourself to have your you time, your me time, to kind of level yourself out. Because if you're angry at home or you're angry at work about something that maybe they were involved in or maybe doesn't have anything to do with them, but they work in the same area,
Mm-hmm.
that can just trickle over. So
Oh yeah,
that's a big challenge that you need to navigate. So
I've had that
kudos.
through experience. My last relationship, I've worked with her for 9 years. Same job, and luckily it wasn't too bad. But that's definitely real. That can happen. Um, in terms of what was the exact question? It's like fixing something you have, like
What is the greatest challenge or struggle you've ever faced?
hmm, biggest challenge. I mean, there are moments like any other person that has emotional trauma or emotional like breakdowns, and even though I don't express it, even I have sometimes I have a negative thought in my head, and recently it was through like streaming. I put a lot of effort into streaming, and I put a lot of like time. And I see that as the biggest thing is like when you put a lot of time in, you don't see the reciprocation of that time back towards you. You go visit these people's streams, you go hang out, and you put like 3 to 4 hours a day in when you could be doing so much more with your time. And for me, I didn't see that reciprocation for the longest time, and it kind of bothered me a lot because I'd be in their streams constantly, talking, engaging, having a good time, and I wouldn't get that reciprocation. So there'd be a thought in my head like, was it me? Did I do something wrong? That kind of stuff. Have a negative thought like maybe I should just quit streaming and not worry about it, just enjoy video games again. And I always come back to it though and said, no, screw that. I'm gonna push through. Uh, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. You'll find the people that will come in. You'll appreciate those people more, and you'll be able to have a good time. Not worry about the numbers. Not worry about who isn't there, but just enjoy the people that do show up, and be more appreciative to those who do show up. So I guess it's just accepting that fact. I guess that was like the most recent thing, really.
Okay. Yeah, I can get that. So going to Sarah and Jeff right now. So for Sarah and Jeff, for Jeff and Sarah, he said we married our best friends, so it isn't that bad.
Hmm.
Okay, I understand that. And see, that's one thing that Sarah hates about me. I do not show emotion. I bottle up. I just don't give a crap. Even when my own brother passed, I was like, oh well. I used to be that way until my one of my closest friends from growing up passed. That he was like a brother to me. He was like family to me. He treated me like
Yeah.
that too. And when growing up, everybody saw all of us together. So he was kind of the glue that kept everybody stuck together. So he hit home really really hard, and that's when I just broke down because I was on the way to another funeral for another buddy named Tommy when I heard the news that Wade passed, and that kind of just pushed me over the edge. And I pulled over side of the road. I cried, and that's something that I hardly ever do. If you know me, I hardly ever do it. So it made me maybe realize that I got a lot of stuff bottled up, and I started going to therapy and getting better and talking to friends about it and opening up. So yeah,
I kind of get that. Was it a year? It's like 2 years now. My grandfather passed away, and I had a good connection with him. But when he passed, it was kind of bizarre to see him at the funeral home. Just you know, as everyone knows, when you're someone so close, someone you've known your whole life, and then they're just not there. So it's an emotional thing. And but yet, still, I didn't cry. It was just it felt weird. It's a weird thing to see, but I guess in a weird way, I grieve in a different way.
yeah.
And
Everybody grieves in their own way, so
yeah,
it's understandable.
yeah. But I guess in some ways I found it weird that I wouldn't shed a tear when everyone else was. But yeah, I get that. It's definitely not good to be to bottle up your emotions. I've only had one or two emotional breakdowns, and I was in a past relationship again. I had snapped at them one time because I was just fed up with certain things that were happening, and it built up to a point where I kind of bottled it up, and then eventually I just snapped. And it was nothing, it was just an emotional breakdown. I didn't get physical, didn't get like verbally abusive. It was just I lost it and just explained everything that was wrong. So I get that kind of thing. It's just not good to bottle up the emotions.
Yeah, it's not good to bottle them up. But it's been a trait of mine for years. It's one of those things that I'm so good at doing to make sure that nothing can touch me. But I'm learning that it's not the best thing to do, and I'm doing it the right way, letting it out like I'm supposed to, in productive ways. That way, I don't hurt anybody else or myself. That's the key point there. Don't do either. Yeah. Let's see here. What's the next question? What? What'd you say? Yeah. They can't hear you though, so they don't count. Anything on hard proof or better is good. Yeah, I agree. Thanks for giving them a sub, Smurf.
Of course.
So we're going to go into embarrassing stories. So story time. She put that in there. I did not. What story do we want to hear? What kind of story do we want to hear? Do we want to hear a PG story? Do we want to hear just growing up story? Do we want to hear an adult story?
Let's say younger years. Try a younger year embarrassing story.
Say what? Younger years?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I think I was in junior high, and I had this coat jacket because The Matrix came out, and it made me look like Morpheus. I had buzz head, everything like that, sunglasses, and it was funny. I went in there, and my buddy's like, "Oh, you're from Germany, right? Like you grew up in Germany." He's like, "I was born in Germany, there for a couple years, and then which went into the tangent about Germans and how the Nazis came to be, everything like that." And I was, me, I'm a little black kid in Texas, of all places, saying, "Yeah, I'm a Nazi." I said that out loud in the middle of class. His head just snapped around, looked at me, he's like, you can't be a Nazi. You can't be a Nazi." And I was like, "Why not?" And they're like, "Here's a history book," and they flipped it open and they showed me. I was like, "I'm not a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi."
That's funny.
So yeah, that's how that one went.
Okay. It's especially at that age, you're gonna feel embarrassed, but when you look back at it, you probably get a good laugh out of it because of how ridiculous it sounds.
Yeah, it was completely ridiculous. Everybody was talking about it for a while.
It's like you can't have a black Nazi. I'm sorry. It's just
exactly. It's like the black white supremacist Dave Chappelle, Clayton Bixby. I was like, yeah, I did it before him.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. Would you like a more recent or an older embarrassing story?
My gut tells me recent, but my brain says older because something tells me the older stuff is probably funnier. So
older stuff.
Let's go recent.
Recent. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, as an adult, you're bound to do this anyways, but it's still embarrassing, even for adults. I crap myself, yeah. So,
okay, so you shit yourself? Okay.
Yes. Yep. I was in the house, I was at home, and, even though my mom asked me before she took a shower, she said, "Hey, do you have to use the bathroom?" I was like, "No, I'm good. You can go." She takes a shower. About 20 minutes into her shower, I'm starting to feel it. You're like, "Oh God." So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to do everything possible to not do it, but eventually got to the point where my body just couldn't hold it. So it just went, and I'm outside on the porch. I'm trying to not let it get in the house. So this is during the winter too, so it's really cold out. I'm in pants and a t-shirt, and it just got all over the porch. It was gross. Bad timing for me, but still very embarrassing. No one likes doing that. Obviously, it's embarrassing for everyone, but as an adult, you are bound to kind of do that.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you a twofer. I'll give you one. I've shit my pants before as well. Well, alcohol. Did you know alcohol goes bad?
Mm.
I didn't know that. I didn't think about it or anything like
Alcohol.
that.
Okay.
So I'm at a friend's house. They've had this bottle of Jameson for a long fucking time.
Okay.
Didn't think about it. Cool. Make my drinks. Everything's good. I get drunk really fucking fast somehow.
Okay.
I'm like, whatever. I gotta go to the bathroom. Somebody's passed out in the bathroom. It's like, cool. I'll hold it. I'll wait till they wake up. Cool.
Yeah.
I sit down on the couch and I pass out. I wake up and everybody's all being, social, everything like that. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. I stood up. I was like, oh, I get the spins. I was like, what's going on? Where am I at? Make it to the bathroom. I'm like, what do I do now? I was like, cool, take my pants off, sit on the toilet. Next thing I know, I didn't open the toilet seat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Right on the cover.
Yep, right on the cover. And then shit myself, everything like that. I realized what I did in my drunken stupor. Try to clean it up, which was the worst thing in the world to do. Because that movie. There's shit everywhere.
Yeah. Like, oh god, there's shit everywhere.
Yeah, well, there was shit everywhere. I walk out of the bathroom thinking I did a good thing by cleaning the bathroom up. I go sit back down, pass back out again.
Oh no.
My buddy wakes me up, says, you gotta go home. I was like, what? Why? He's like, there's shit everywhere.
And they knew it was you. That's
they knew it was me.
Okay.
They knew it was me. Because somebody heard me like struggling in there. They said they heard banging, everything like that. So yeah, I went home, passed out when I got home, woke up to a text message that says, "Go take a shower."
Oh no!
He texted me. He said, "Take a shower when you wake up." I took a shower.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing I did.
But first I woke up butt ass naked. I was like, "What the hell's going on?" I fell asleep with clothes on. Woke up without clothes on. Then took a shower, everything like that, wondering where my clothes went.
Yeah.
Wondering. I go throughout the house, don't find them anywhere. I open the washer, I see them. I was like, okay, they're in the wash. I'm just going to wash it. I'm going to wash everything. Cool, not a problem. Washed it, dried it, everything like that. Everything's all good. The next day, my buddy messaged me, hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm like, I feel fine. I felt really good. He's like, yeah. He's like, what'd you drink? I said, oh, you Jameson. He's like, I wouldn't have touched that if I was you. I was like, why? He's like, I've had that for a good number of years. I just forgot I was up there. I was like, So I start researching, saying, does alcohol go bad? Everything like that. What are the effects? And I had all.
Depends on the alcohol and aging and yeah.
And I had all of them. It was one of those things I don't wish that on any fucking body.
Yeah.
Because that is literally embarrassing as shit. And I'm pretty sure it's still pinned in our group chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's embarrassing, but at least it was that alcohol. Because if it was something like moonshine, you'd be in really deep trouble.
Yeah.
Bad moonshine is not something you want to drink. That's actually very dangerous.
Moonshine is I don't know if I can say the story. I don't know if I say the story. Because moonshine's gotten me in some pretty bad situations and made me miss pretty important things too.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna skip over moonshine right now.
This is one of the many reasons why I never drink so much that I get to the point where I'm blackout drunk or I'm just like stupid drunk. I've only had moments like twice on stream where I got drunk, but I was not that bad. 17 shots in and I was like, woohoo, I'm having a good time, but I'm not, not remembering what happened that night.
Q&A questions. So, anybody has any questions, let them fly. Just let them fly. We're going to see how this goes.
Let them rip.
We just go fly and have change of flavor, but doesn't technically go bad. No, it technically doesn't go bad, but it's I forget how's it. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
It could probably go bad after a certain time, but it would take a certain amount of time. And here's Sarah and Jeff has a question for us. Why did you start streaming? Okay.
Why did I start streaming? Honestly, I'm gonna say it like this. My buddy said, "You're not doing anything. You're going to school. You're playing video games already. So why don't you do it? Start streaming." And it's my buddy, buddy Wag. He's the reason why I started streaming. And then I met, Savage from that, and then other people. I came to like it a lot. I stopped for a little bit because I was going through some personal shit, and then I came back to it, and then I'm here.
Yeah, for me, streaming was for two things. Mainly because I just wanted to have fun. It was a good way to just, play games, hang out with people, have a good time. I remember years ago on Destiny 1, I was playing PvP with some friends, and they were like, "You know what? You have the kind of voice to stream. Like, you have a good streaming kind of voice." I was like, "Okay, I didn't know that was a thing. Like, having a good voice can make you a good streamer or whatnot. I guess maybe an appealing voice to some." But mainly for me though, it was just to have fun, and I saw that through streaming you can meet people. And outside of the two people that I have for IRL friends, I didn't have many people I interacted with. So I want to expand my interactions with people, not only to socialize more and get used to socializing, talking, and all that, getting better at speaking, but also just to get to know people, make friendships, get to have interactions, that kind of thing.
I never expected to make friends from streaming. Not gonna lie, I never expected at all. But I made some pretty damn good ones from it. So yeah. Let me see here. What did that say? You started just to teach others how to do it. Okay, that makes sense.
Not bad.
That's not a bad reason. Sounds a little petty, but it's not a bad reason.
It's like, hey, this is how you do it. It's like, whoa. But no, it's a good way to do it, If you can, it's always nice to be able to spread information and teach people, help guide people. It's nice. I started back in 2015 or 14. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. It was back when Twitch is practically new. I've had my Twitch account since 2012, I think. So basically when Twitch just became a thing. And then I didn't take streaming seriously when I first started streaming. I didn't like go out to other people's streams and talk to them. I didn't go out and promote myself and try to grow. I just literally just pressed the start button, start stream, play games, and people came in and said hi, but it wasn't too big on my mind. I was just starting it just to start it. But then 2018-19 is when I took it seriously and put in more time and effort.
Okay. Yeah, no, my cousin was a console player and wanted to switch to PC gaming, but stream and didn't know how, so I did it just to learn. Oh, okay, it wasn't petty.
Nice.
It was just you to help educate him and tell him how it worked and everything. So that's a good thing. You're a good guy. You're a pretty good guy. IRL, I'm a computer programmer. I have a lot of computers. Okay, cool. Well, maybe I'm gonna hit you up on the case when you're building my PC. I need one. Because this laptop is frustrating, to say the least.
Yeah,
you
they're limited.
The merch store for me?
Yeah, when it comes to laptops, they're very limited in what you can do. They're kind of restricted because you can't really... Yeah, you can take them apart and kind of make your own things, but overall it's just better to have a PC. You can do a lot more with it.
So this is the Join the Raid merch store we have, and got a couple things. Got a couple hoodies, shirts, got a beanie. We're looking for a good hat quality because the hat quality on this site that we use isn't the best. And the one that did this merch for us is Mistra. Is Miss Mistra. She's a very talented artist. She does this is her job, so she loves to do it, and it's just what she did in her free time. She did a wonderful job, which she said she has more stuff for us that's going to be coming out. So, you know, it's one of those things. Hey, there she is. Yeah, Mistra is the one who did this all for us, and, you know, I'm really appreciative of it. She said she says, you know, oh, I just did it because we're homies. I was like, no, we're going to find a way to reward you. We're going to get you out there.
I was curious. This is what the shirt looks like.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Mine's in the mail right now.
Comfortable,
Yeah.
cozy. It's nice.
Yeah. It's comfortable, good quality for you.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Sweet. But yeah, she did that, and yeah, she's fucking awesome. I mean, awesome. And there's our merch link in the Twitch chat. I forgot to add it to the YouTube channel. Honestly, I really did. I'll put that up there. They do carry big guy sizes now, by the way. So it goes up to 4X, I think, and it matters. So I got to play around with the settings for that to see if we allow it or not. So they do allow it, though. Because somebody asked me, do they have 2X or higher? I was like, they do, because they let me order it for them. So yeah. Still not big enough. Yo, how big we talking? How big? 5X? Let me figure out if we can work something out. Then we'll get you up, and I'll hit you up. Okay, Jeff? I got you. We'll figure it out for you. You need the T? Which one? The black one? The white one? The one with Join the Raid on it? The one with the skull? Skull and gas mask. Actually, Jeff, just join the Discord. And send me a message. Yeah, just join the Discord. Shoot me a message. You know, just tag me in and say, hey, I want this shirt. Stuff like that. Tall. Yeah. I run into that issue too. I understand where you're coming from with these like 5X and tall and like, you know, bigger shirts and tall. Yeah, I run into this. This is an extra large on me, and it fits everywhere else, but it's not long enough. So it's one of those things that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I used to shop at Big and Tall, so it's one of those things. I just forgot all about Big and Tall until just now, honestly. But yeah, if nobody has any more questions, comments, concerns, if any of the crew is in there, they want to ask questions, do it now. Because honestly, this is your free shot to ask the most embarrassing questions you can think of.
Do it now.
Because after this, we're going back to work. Yeah, I know. You got a long torso. Yeah, I get that, man. I really get that. Let's see here. I think next time we're going to stream on X as well. Yes.
Do it now.
All right. If nobody has any questions and nobody's popping up in chat, is anybody on YouTube popping up in chat? Let's see. Nope. All right. We're going to cut it there. Thank y'all. Next episode is going to... I'm getting there, boss. I'm getting there, boss. Okay? We're going to raid out in Twitch. But yeah, next couple episodes are going to be coming out. One released this morning at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And the next episode's already processed, edited, and it's going to go out the next week at 8 a.m. So we're ahead of schedule. We're doing good. Who do we want to raid out to? Let's see who I'm following, who's live.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go Ninja.
Ninja is live, so yeah. He's playing the Fortnites. I already have him up.
Fork knife. That start the raid. How you feeling? Good?
Good. It's an awesome stream. I liked it. Awesome podcast.
Yeah, I feel good about it. I'm pretty sure those stories of mine are going to be a clip, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank y'all, everybody, for joining us for Join the Raid podcast. I hope y'all have a fantastic night, and see y'all Friday or Saturday.
Peace.
Rated. Stop recording.